Good afternoon, Year 3, and welcome to the sixth and final lesson in our science topic, the life cycle of plants. Our learning objective today is to understand the structure of seeds and their importance as a food source. So this brings us right back in the cycle of the plant's life to seeds, because if you remember in lesson 1 we were looking at how a seed germinates, and then we looked at how water is transported up the plant and into the leaves, where it uses photosynthesis to create energy, which it uses to make flowers, which it uses to make seeds. And then last week we were looking at how the seeds are dispersed to new places so that they can start a new plant. So now we're going to be looking in detail at the insides of seeds. Okay, let's get started. First, a question. Because it might seem obvious, everyone kind of knows what a seed is, but really think about what is inside the seed. Have a little think. If you're with an adult or anybody else, have a chat with them. As usual, I wish I was there to hear your wonderful answers. Okay, pause the video now while you have a chat. Okay guys, welcome back. I'm sure you had some amazing things to say then. Let's have a little look. So inside a seed contains everything needed for a new plant to start growing. Sunflower seeds have stripy black and white seed coats. The seed coat around the outside of the seed helps to protect it. It starts to absorb water and soften when the seed lands in soil. Right, so on the outside of a seed, it's got a hard coat, a jacket, just like you would do if you were in the cold. And that's there to protect the seed. And then when it falls to the ground, the water in the soil softens it, and then the inside of the seed comes out. So inside the seed, a tiny root and shoot wait to grow out through the softened seed coat. So the root and the shoot are there inside the seed waiting. They're just waiting for the seed coat to come off and for moisture to go into the seed, and then it can start growing. And as we learned in the first lesson, the young root grows first, and then the shoot. Now the root grows out first, and this anchors the plant, which means it keeps it steady, and it also means that the plant can start taking in water and minerals straight away. And we know how important that is, don't we? The largest parts inside a seed are the seed leaves. Seeds can have 1, 2, or more seed leaves. They are a store of food that helps the young plant to start to grow. So if you remember, the seed can grow underground without any sunlight because it has this store of energy, it has this store of food inside it, and it uses that to just grow just enough until it can grow leaves, and it can start to use photosynthesis to make more energy. Lots of seeds, such as these coffee beans, have 2 seed leaves. Let's take a closer look. So these are coffee beans. If you look on that last slide, when they're on the tree, they're ripe when they're kind of red, and they look a bit like cherries. And what they do is they roast them, and then they go this nice brown colour, and then we make coffee out of them. So it says, seed leaves can be seen clearly inside coffee beans. Once they've been roasted, the seed coats are shaken off, and the 2 seed leaves separate. Can you see the grooves where the root and shoot sit inside the seed? I can. Can you see that line down the middle? So at one end of there is going to be the root, and at the other end is the shoot. Let's see. How much have you remembered so far from today? So you're going to have to do some writing now, so you need to take out your piece of paper or your exercise book, and we need to put the date today. For me, it's Wednesday the 20th of May. I'm not sure when you'll be doing this, but you put the date that you are doing this work on. And then the LO, which is to understand the structure of seeds and their importance as a food source. So pause this video now while you go and get yourself all of the things that you need to do this, and you write your date and your LO. Okay, welcome back. So I've got 3 questions for you here. My first question, what does the seed coat do? Seed coat, remember that's the hard bit on the outside, it's like a shell. My second question is, why are the seed leaves so large in relation to the root and shoot inside the seed? Because the root and the shoot are very small, but this seed is really, it's quite big, isn't it? So why is it big? What's inside the seed leaves? That is so important. And the third question, which grows first, the root or the shoot? And I want to know why. So on your paper, you're going to write your answers, and I want to see lovely full sentences, and I want you to add as much detail as you can to this. I've got some sentence starters to help you that you can use if you need, but you don't have to. Okay. Pause the video now while you answer those 3 questions. Okay, welcome back. Let's have a look at the answers that I got. Now remember, when I'm showing you my answers, the way that I've written them might be different, but as long as you've got the information there, that's the important thing. So I've written, the seed coat helps to protect the seed. If you wanted to add more detail, then you could have written about how it gets soft when it reaches the moisture in the ground. But as long as you're aware, as long as you know that the seed coat protects the seed, then I am happy with that. Number 2, the seed leaves are so large because they store food to help the plant grow. So that they've got all of that energy so that they can help the first bits of the plant grow, the first root and the first shoot until it's got leaves. And number 3, the root grows first because it anchors the plant and it takes in water. So the plant needs water, so it makes sense for it to put roots out first so that it can really start getting water into the plant and helping it to grow. And also it keeps it steady, doesn't it? Great stuff. Okay, let's keep learning. The seed leaves inside seeds are a rich food source, storing lots of energy. This means that they are a great food source for animals too. And there's a picture there of a cute little squirrel. And we know that squirrels, they go out and they find nuts and seeds and they bury them underground so that they can get access to them later. And there's a bird that is a blue tit and it's eating peanuts. So these seeds are an important source of food for some birds and mammals in the winter, as food is scarcer at that time, which is why we usually would put our bird feeders up in the winter time, because in the summer they can usually find enough berries and bugs for them to eat. Some plants produce seeds that can survive for a long time before they germinate, so they can stay underground and not do anything sometimes for thousands of years. I was reading recently that in Antarctica there are seeds that are being, I think it was Antarctica, somewhere really, really cold, and they've been buried for thousands of years and then they're starting to germinate, so they can stay like that for a long time. Okay. Let's have a think. How many different seeds can you think of that form part of our diet? So I can think of quite a lot. I've got quite a lot of seeds in my house. I eat them quite a lot. Have a little think. What kind of seeds do you eat? What kind of seeds could you eat? Pause the video and have a chat. Okay, so anyone that knows me knows I love my nuts and seeds. So in my house, it wasn't difficult to find lots of examples of seeds that we can take apart and have a look at. Hopefully after this you'll have an idea of the kinds of things that you're looking for and you'll be able to find something similar in your house. If not, then you can just watch the video and you can learn from that. So let's have a look at what I've got. I've got this one, you can tell because it's nearly empty, is my favourite kind of seed. This is cashew nuts, and these are the ones which are shaped kind of like a crescent moon almost, aren't they? Get a good handle on that. There you go. That's that shape there. They're my favourite, I love those. I was going to eat them then. What else have we got? So we've got some sunflower seeds, and these ones are in the shell, the outer shell that we just learned about. Okay, so inside that shell is going to be the seed, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. These are chickpeas. Sometimes you get them in cans, but these are dried, and you use chickpeas to make hummus and to make falafel, and you can put them in soups and curries and chilies. Very, very good for you. What else have we got here? This is some pearl barley, which you can put in a soup, and it makes it really like full tasting, and it gives it a nice texture. We've got some almonds. So almonds, they're shaped kind of like that. They're quite tasty. I like almonds. And then we've got hazelnuts. Hazelnuts are the ones that make Nutella taste really good. So it's chocolate and hazelnuts. That's the secret formula for Nutella. I don't know if you can see that. It's not focusing. I've also got an avocado. I've eaten half of it already for my lunch. But inside this big stone, that's the seed of the avocado. So in a minute, we're going to try and use my big pliers to break that open and see what's inside there. And I've also got some fruits. I've got a lime and I've got an orange, and we're going to look in there because the pips of the orange or the lime or any fruit, that's the seed. So we're going to open those up and see if we can see the two leaves of the seed and the grooves for the shoots and the roots. Okay, so let's start. Oh, do you know what? I've also got a can of beans, because baked beans are made of beans, and beans are the seed of the bean plant. So even though it's in a can, we should still be able to have a look at some of the characteristics, some of the features of the bean seed. Okay, I think we should start with the sunflower seed, because that's the one that we've just been learning about. Okay, let me see if my camera can focus on this. Let's have a look. Okay, so that's the big hard shell, and that protects it while it's on the plant. And then when it falls to the ground and it gets wet under the soil, the moisture soaks in and it loosens up and it softens. We're just going to try and break it with my fingers. Okay, so I've opened that up, and inside you can see there is, oh, this is the seed. Okay, it tastes so good. Okay, so I'm going to try and break that open lengthways and see if we can see. Oh, it's very hard actually. I thought it would be softer than that. I'm going to use my little pliers and I'm going to see if I can open that. We don't want to crush it completely, we just want to split it so we can see the structure inside. Oops, it looks like I've crushed it completely. Okay, so I've ruined that one, but let's have a look at some other ones, because I think that might be a bit soft to show you. Let's have a look at a cashew nut. Alright, so this is the one, the crescent-shaped one. You can see that there is a line going all the way around that. You can really clearly see the two halves of the seed there. And it would have had originally a hard shell around it, but they take that off because we don't like to eat that. So I should be able to just do that in my fingers. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so I've split that directly in half. Oh, one of them's broken, but the other one, you can see now inside there, there's a line going up there, and that is where the shoot will come out of one end and the root will come out of the other end. So the seed has got all of that energy to give it enough energy, all of that nutrition to give it enough energy to put a shoot and a root out so it can grow some leaves and start making its own energy. And we can use that energy when we eat them to fuel our own bodies. Let's see what else we've got. So we've got some chickpeas. These are really hard. I can't really show you how hard it is without you being here, but really hard. So I'm definitely going to have to use my little pliers for this. Okay, in fact, let's have a look at this, because you can see the line going down there. Can you see that? So I'm going to try and just crack this really gently. Oh, I hit a crack. Yep. Okay, so we're going to open that up. There it is. So inside here, there's the two halves of the seed, and you can really see that. Oh, in that one, you can see the line there, which is ready to make a shoot come out and a root come out of the other end. Okay, so I'm not going to do all of these. This was just to give you an idea. One of these, though, rice. I feel like everyone has got some rice at home. So if you haven't got any of the other things, it's quite difficult to show you on this camera because it's so small. But if you have some at home and you have a good look at it, you can definitely see the groove going down the middle, and you might even be able to open that up and have a look at the two halves and the two lines in there, the two grooves. Okay, let's have a look at this one. I've been looking forward to doing this all day. So this is my avocado steak. I'm doing this with a knife which means if you're doing this, you must get your adult to help you. And actually, before you start any of this, it's really important that you ask whoever buys the food in your house whether you can do all this, because I buy all this with my money, so it's fine if I want to waste it by cracking it open and leaving it on the table. But I'm sure your parents and whoever looks after you are not going to be too happy with that. So ask an adult before you start doing this. Okay, here is my stone of an avocado. Now if I left that, what you can do is you can poke 2 bits of wire on here and leave it in some water and it will grow, which I believe Mr. Mully's doing actually. So if you're interested in that, maybe you can ask him. But you can quite clearly see on this, how can I focus? There you go. You can see, can you see? Why is it not focusing? Okay. There is a line. It wants to crack, oh there you go. It wants to crack down that line, doesn't it? You can see that, and at one end you can see it's even got a lump, and at the other end it's got another lump. So you can really imagine if that was underground, one of those is going to shoot off some roots, and the other is going to shoot off I'm not sure which is which. I'm going to say that maybe that's the root, because the root comes out first and that's ready. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to crack this open now with my pliers. I've never done this before, by the way, and I've only got one avocado, so hopefully this works. Oh, it's so big it won't go in my pliers. Let's see if I can get that in there. Oh, it's a bit slippy as well. A bit slimy. Oh, right, okay. Let's see what's going to happen when I crack this open. Oh, it's so hard. I think I can do this. Oh, okay. I am determined to make this work though. I never give up. Oh. Okay, I'm going to do it in the middle. Let's see. No, this is a really, really hard, a tough nut to crack. But I will do it. Or will I? Maybe I won't do it. Okay, maybe I'm going to try a different technique and I'm going to use my little knife. Do not do this at home. Do not do this at home. Okay. I've managed to crack it open that. So let's see what we can see inside. So this is what's inside an avocado stone, and again you can definitely see that it's not broken exactly in half because I used a knife instead of cracking it. There we go. You can clearly see in there, there's the beginning of the plant in there. It's all going to grow from there, and it's going to shoot some roots down and some shoots up, and all of this white stuff, this is just enough energy to give it that enough power to grow some roots and to grow a shoot. And then of course once it starts growing its leaves, then it can start making its own energy through photosynthesis. Okay, one more, an orange. Okay, so I'm going to cut open this orange. Again, you're not going to do this unless you have an adult with you, whose knives are sharp. Okay, so I'm going to cut this orange in half. Oh, it looks so juicy and delicious. So at first you can't really even see the seeds, but actually if you poke around in there, there's one. So there's an orange seed. So these are the things you usually just spit out and you throw away, which is all part of the plan, isn't it? Because then you've eaten the orange, you've taken it away from the orange tree and you've spat it out, and then it's going to try and grow another orange tree somewhere else. Okay, so inside here, here's our seed, and it looks very much like the other seeds that we've been looking at, if you can see that. Is it focusing? No. Okay, so, and I'm going to try and crack that with my very old and not very good Okay, it's really slippy because it's covered in orange juice. So with an orange seed, because it's already wet, it's not dried out, it's actually quite soft, and you don't need pliers to do this. I'm doing it because it's easy to show you, but you can squash this probably with, you can put it underneath a mug, you can put it on a plate and put a mug on top of it, and push down gently. Okay, let's see if I can focus on that. Is it focusing on that? Kind of. Okay, it's correct. Oh, look at that, it's opened beautifully. There we go. Okay, so inside the orange seed, let's have a look. I've kind of mashed it up a bit, but you can see that the two halves are there and the slit is there that's going to have a shoot coming up the top and a root coming down the bottom. Okay. So hopefully I've given you an idea of the kinds of seeds and beans and things that you... Oh, I forgot to show you the beans. Let's have a look at this. Okay, I'm quite excited about this because if I open these beans, that means I have to eat them today, and I haven't had beans for quite a while, and I like them. Alright. Okay, I'm going to get messy doing this. So, let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that one. That is even. Okay, so these are the beans. They've been cooked and then put in a can, but they're the same as the beans, the dried beans that I was just showing you, the chickpeas. And one of them that I just saw in there has actually pretty much just cracked in half all on its own. Alright, let's have a look. So you can see on this one, can you see? Yeah, so you can see the line going down there, and I don't need to smash it with my pliers because it's so soft because it's cooked. But if you open it up, you will be able to see inside the two halves of the seed and the line for the shoot and the root, and my hands are so messy. So if you're going to do this with beans, make sure you do it over a plate, put some newspaper down or something. Okay, beans, peas, nuts, seeds, they're everywhere, especially in my house. Right, so your activity now is to, with your parents' permission, have a little look around your house, through your kitchen, have a look in the cupboards, see what you can find, see if there are any seeds in there. And remember that things like rice, oats, porridge, muesli, these are all different kinds of seeds. So you would be surprised actually at how many things will be in your house which are seeds, maybe things that you hadn't thought of, any kind of nuts. Remember I was looking at baked beans, kidney beans. Okay, so have a look. And then what you're going to do is make a little table in your books. Now, if you look at my table, I've got two columns. One's a bit smaller than the other because I just need a word in it, and the other one is bigger because it's going to have a diagram. If you notice, I've used a ruler and I've made my lines nice and straight, and I've written my words, my headings of the table on the line, nice and neat. So your first task would be to make a table like this. You can see that I've left the bottom open because I don't know how many seeds you're going to find. So I'm going to just do these two seeds for me, which is an almond and a sunflower seed. So once I've made my table, I'm going to draw a little diagram and label it. So as you can see, for my almond, I've tried to draw, it's quite difficult, I've tried to draw a picture of the two leaves of the almond after I've split it open. And I've labelled it, and I've said that the two leaves contain an energy store. And I've also labelled the grooves where the roots and the shoots sit. And underneath that, I've put a nice neat line to separate it, and underneath that, I've done the same for the sunflower seed. So I'm going to leave you now to do that. Have a look around. If you can't find anything at home, don't worry, because you can use my information that I was giving you earlier, and you can use this diagram here to help you. But I would like you all to have something written in your books. And don't forget, once you've done this, please send me to the Year 3 email all of the work that you have been doing.